So it's the same old story from certain Dubai duty free.
Djokovic, greatest player ever?
Don't even get me started.
That's a yes.
Hi, this is Paul from Strong Too Tight.
Stephen here, hello.
And we almost just got ourselves into a bit of trouble straight off the bat. But here we are for another podcast for 3 in 3 weeks. My God, Steve, what's going on?
3 in 3 weeks, 3 in 1 week. Almost.
Where's your maths?
Well, we did one last week. We did one at the start of the week.
Okay, so obviously Steve's maths is as good as ever. Just to make sure that everyone's clear, debatably, Stephen and I have had or got coronavirus. So Stephen was out for 3-4 weeks. Basically, January was a write-off for you.
I could have brought it in.
I think it was you.
I think it was Letitia, my wife.
Yeah, possibly.
She made me ill initially, so...
But January was pretty much a write-off for you, and February was a total write-off for me. So
I didn't have a bad throat. That's the only thing that makes me think I didn't have it. It was the only symptom I didn't have.
I'd just love to wake up in the morning and not feel as if I'm coughing up a load of gunk all morning. And it's like now got to a point where I feel as if I'm going to vomit again. So it's just not great. But I feel all right.
Should I just leave now then?
Well, you gave it to me, so you're immune to it. You did.
No, I didn't.
When you were licking me that time.
I thought his head was a tennis ball.
That big?
We could do that. That's got to be one thing, surely.
I've got the spray.
Oh,
I've got the spray for it and everything. So, yeah, I keep on saying we're going to do it, but anyway. So, it's another week in the tennis world. We've actually had loads of feedback. Loads.
From people we've never even met before.
From human beings.
I think we've doubled our listenership to 1. Why am I saying listenership? Viewership to 1.
How can you double it to 1 as well? It'd be doubled to 2, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that.
I can't say it. But yeah, we've had questions. We've had people who look like a sort of like Kornikova, but they're not. And how she knew about us, I'll never know. But Stephen got work from this because that's how it must have all started. So
keep it coming.
Yeah, keep it coming. Steffi, keep spreading the word. Beer, Rene, Hussein, Ben. I mean, God, it just keeps.
Giselle,
Courtney. I mean, but I think a special shout out goes to Teddy, the porcupine. Rene, you know who you are. Hopefully, Alicia will add something.
We can upload that, can't we?
We can get that uploaded. So another week in the tennis world and quite a lot to talk about. And the first place we're going to start has got to be Dubai duty free. Steve, go.
Same old, same old. Novak Djokovic, although he should have lost to Monfils in the semi-finals, but apart from that tight match, he walked it. Yeah, I'm sure he's having sleepless nights still. Although with Svitolina by his side, maybe not, but he should have won, really, Monfils, shouldn't he? Don't say it.
No. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I mean, it's what a match. It was an amazing match. But for me, I even said to Alicia when he was 3 match points up, I said to Alicia, still not going to win.
Yeah.
He's not going to win. He just clearly bottled it. He went for a backhand off the back foot down the line that was not on. He didn't make a first serve. I mean, his elbow must have been like...
Yeah. He got nervous. But like I say, these top guys, they just find a way. I don't think actually Djokovic looked great all week in himself, walking around. I thought he looked a bit under the weather. Maybe he was carrying something. I don't know. But still... when it was time to produce, he knows how to win. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
I mean, as you know, I was in the Dubai Eye booth, which is right next door to where the players walk in and walk out. And when him and Tsitsipas were walking along, Tsitsipas was like, and Djokovic was just like smiling with the crowd. You know, it was just 2 completely different characters. So. Tsitsipas to me just didn't look on song. He played for a couple of good matches, but he didn't show up in that final.
It's different, isn't it? Tsitsipas needs to start winning these tournaments. All the pressure is on him. Djokovic, he's done everything. What we just need to do any more in tennis. I think these guys get to a point in the finals now. Obviously, ruthless competitors, but I don't even think they're that bothered if they lose.
I think that is actually.
I actually don't. I don't think they
don't
care anymore if they lose.
They just play the big points well. Djokovic, crazy stat. I think he only hits between 1 and 2 unforced errors in any tiebreak he gets into.
Is that true?
That's his stat. That in tiebreaks he averages between 1 and 2 unforced errors. That's mental. That is absolutely mental. But throughout the week, I was impressed with Dan Evans. I thought Dan Evans did really, really well. Our buddies didn't do that great in the doubles. They had a bit of a nightmare draw.
They all lost in the first round.
But we still love you, Jules and Horia. Hopefully, Horia get better. Neil and Jamie. Come on.
I did watch it. It just didn't work. It just didn't. It just didn't click.
Even Joe and Rajiv, who I spent a bit of time chatting with Joe, and they got beaten second round. So, but there you go.
That's tennis.
That's tennis. I just wish more people were interested in the doubles. That's what really.
It is a shame. It's a shame. But Djokovic, 21-0 for the year.
I don't want to talk about Djokovic. We spend too much time talking about Djokovic and Federer and Nadal. What I will say is Stephen is unfortunately right. Djokovic is the greatest of all time. He's going to surpass every single one of them. We've talked about it so many times. It's the Messi Ronaldo thing, isn't it? I think Messi. Who do you think?
Yeah, I always Ronaldo.
So you're Ronaldo. I'm Messi, and it doesn't matter what these guys produce in terms of numbers. They're all the 3 greats of all time.
Yeah.
We'll never see this in our lifetime again. I had an argument with one of my radio co-hosts the other day.
Never, ever.
This will not happen again. In fact, I'm going to go as far, and I've said this on air. Let's see if you can take this one. No individual tennis player in the men's will win 10 slams in my lifetime.
No, I can't agree with that.
Well, I reckon I've only got about 3 years to live.
Might have 3 weeks with Corona. No, we said this about Sampras. No one would be 14. And
Sampras said it. And
somebody came along, and now we've got 3 guys on 19 and 17.
But never forget that there's only been 4 or 5 people that have done it. You've got Roy Emerson, you've got Pete Sampras, you've got Bjorn Borg, and then pretty much it.
Yeah, but when you think about it, when Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal move on, it's going to be a bump fest. But who's going
to grab it by the balls?
But I think somebody is going to.
Who? Yannick
Sinner. What's the other guy you were telling me about?
Seaborth, whatever his name. The new guy who's just won 19 years old.
That's why I'm actually worried about that middle generation of player, Tsitsipas team to an extent that obviously these guys are still around, but there's also a new crop of kids. Rublev. I guess Tsitsipas is still pretty young. Sinner. These guys are going to overpass.
There's another young Italian. Unfortunately, his name escapes me. He played qualies in our place last week, and he's very, very good. But yeah, there's going to be a few coming through. But we give too much airtime to those guys. So let's move away from that, and let's move to Doha. Sabalenka.
Well done. I mean, she played a pretty good match against Halep here. She's got the game to do it. Just my always worry with her is, can she sustain it over a Grand Slam against top players? I don't know. But if she's on form, she can take them all out. I like her. And she's funny. If you follow her Instagram, she's quite a character.
Off court, charismatic, good fun, has a laugh. Really enjoyed the time that I spent with her 2 years ago in DDF. On court, bores the living crap out of me. Just one-dimensional, bish, bosh, bash. It doesn't seem to be anything but noise. I struggle. She's one of those players that I can't cope with watching.
I don't mind watching her, actually. I don't mind watching her. I think when she's on song, she's there.
It just doesn't. Their game doesn't interest me. It's like kind of like a Eugene
What do you want them
Bouchard.
to do?
I want to see variation. I want to see drops. I want to see angles. I don't want to see hit it as hard as you possibly can until you lose control of the ball. Boom.
She does give it a good crack. That is for sure.
She does. And but there we go. So that was Doha.
We don't talk about him enough, but look what pops on: Federer, Djokovic. I'll tell you what, I bet I can see why Federer pulled out of Dubai.
When
He was never going to win.
When we put this on, it was actually Kyrgios and Nadal, but obviously we've moved on. This actually was a big factor in when you do the editing as well, honey. It's going to be a bit of a bummer because anyway. Then we move to down. Oh no! So we move to the other side of the world, Acapulco.
I wonder who won.
Who won?
It's going to be the Nadal and Djokovic show this year, isn't it?
Nadal walked it.
Walked it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nadal just killed everybody. There's not much to talk about in Acapulco.
Shame about Kyrgios, obviously, his wrist, I think, gave way, or I don't know. Who knows? You never know, do you? Let's be honest.
It's a shame the way the crowd reacted, because one thing I would say is Kyrgios would not want to have lost all those points, because that's 500 points, or is it 250? That's 500. That's 500 points gone.
Yeah.
His ranking's just gone from to in one match. But Heather,
the Brits are doing a bit better, hey? We've gone from being world class in doubles to actually becoming better singles players.
Wow.
Heather Watson.
I just wanted to get the name of the girl that she played because I don't want to get it wrong. Leylah Fernandez, 17 years old, left-handed from Canada. She's about as Canadian as I am. She
looks like Singaporean or something.
No, Mexican. I think she's Mexican.
Oh, really?
Ecuador. She's Ecuadorian. Okay, fantastic player. Great timing on the ball. Heather had 10 match points.
Choked.
I mean, again, it must have been how heavy is the elbow again because, I mean, she won it eventually 6-1 in the final set, 6-4, 7-6, 6-1, saving 10 match points, the Canadian girl. But the Canadian girl, Leylah Fernandez, 17 years old, ranked number 2 in Canada. And she was 200 and something before, 217, I believe.
She's number 2. What ranking is Bouchard then?
Here we go. Ranking before the tournament, she was 220 odd. She's now 126 because of the final there. I think that's quite significant because we talk a lot about Canadian tennis being so good and amazing. And
She's Ecuadorian, Filipina descent.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Thank you, honey. Because obviously with this Alex Ealer coming along as well, Filipina, left-handed, 15 years old. Team Philippines, shout out.
And they always get behind their players.
Yeah, God.
They will fill a stadium no matter where it is.
And Manny Pacquiao and all that lot. But yeah, she was, but we talk about Canadian tennis, and Canadian tennis is supposed to be, it's amazing, the system's amazing. Well, you've actually only got 2 players in the top 200 of the women. Your men's tennis is significantly better, obviously,
men's
with
tennis is going
Alex
strong,
Auger and
Dennis.
Felix Auger, sorry. Dennis, Ryanich. And you can go quite far down, actually. There's quite a few, but women, 2. And you got beaten by Switzerland in the Fed Cup. So...
Yeah, well, that's not an easy game. Bencic, you never know.
Yeah, but okay, who's the Swiss number 2?
I don't know.
There we go.
Federer? Merker. She probably could do it.
No, Federer's daughter. So anyway, great result. Another great player coming through. This was the week, really, wasn't it, where we had quite a few youngsters, and then we get moved to Santiago, Chile, and we have. God, I've got to say his name right because it's a crazy name. Okay, Thiago Seyboth Wild. Who the is this?
Well, I'll tell you now, he is wild. I don't know if you can find his first round match. He does not mess around. So a guy did an underarm serve against him. He tried to punch him. I want to see that for sure. He went mental at him. Oh, it was brilliant. I like that.
He was given a wild card into Rio because obviously his ranking, I'm just looking at his ranking now. He's now 113 after winning this tournament, so he would have been 250, 280. 19 years old, and he was given a late wild card because of his success in Rio. He was given a wild card for Santiago.
It's good when people get wild cards when they deserve them, isn't it? It's nice,
Yeah.
nice to see in tournaments.
I'd like to see that happen worldwide, maybe even more locally.
Yeah, start with your own back garden and then venture out.
Yeah, I mean, or you could just give it to somebody who's a club player.
Or you could always bribe someone for it.
Yeah, maybe. Dun, dun, dun. So we have Thiago Seyboth.
Oh, he's got the glasses on.
Sorry, these glasses, they're from Daiso. No, they're not. They're not. These are ones are from Brands for Less. Chibo ones. Yeah, he played Christian Rudd in the final. Score 7-5, 4-6, 6-3. Not bad.
Christian Rudd.
Casper Rudd. Did I say Christian Rudd? Sorry, Casper Rudd. I don't know, flipping Norwegian bloke. And then in the doubles I think the doubles were won by. Oh, why doesn't it have to have some names that I can actually say? Carbalas, Baina, and Davidovic Fekina.
Davidovic Fekina.
And it was Davidovic Fekina who did the underarm serve against Seyboth around it in the fair. And didn't even get that. Okay, so that was where the kickoff. Johnny O'Mara got to the final there. Another British dude.
Should we talk a little bit about the next big tournaments coming up?
What would that be, Stephen?
Indian Wells, Miami.
Indian Wells coming
Best
up.
tournament of the year for the players.
Yeah, love Indian Wells.
I would love to go.
I would.
Well, I mean, obviously, you could say a bigger topic, which we probably should talk about, is that are these tournaments even going to be happening? You know, if anything that's going on in the world, I'm sure you're seeing there's a lot of sporting events being cancelled. I'm almost certain the Olympics is not going to happen. Almost certain of it. Let's be honest. From some of the information I've got, it might even be postponed a year, potentially. You might be right. Federer might be back next year.
What worries me now is that because it's becoming such an epidemic, we're not finding out the truth of what's going on with Corona. So, I mean, I just think of it from this perspective. It's 14 days incubation period. What are the people doing in those 14 days when they don't even realise they've got it? And you go to the malls, you're going to have restaurants, you're going to, we've had the cyclists here we've the tour of the UAE cancelled. They're stuck in hotels in Abu Dhabi right now. It's alarming because that incubation period is the killer really. So, I mean, hopefully things, it's going to peter out.
Could you imagine a year with like no sport? No Wimbledon, US Open, French. I mean these are in serious doubt. I mean, what would happen? That would be just the most bizarre thing you've ever seen. Could they play behind closed doors?
I mean, would you travel? Would you travel? I mean, we obviously, Stephen. If you see our Instagram, Stephen was playing with John-Julien Roger and Wesley Kuloff. Good luck, guys. And
warming him up for the Davis Cup match.
And they were clearly shook up about the travel that they had to do, and they're not happy about it because it's where they end up if they get locked down.
Well,
it's where they end up being. They're going to Astana now. Imagine if it's a lockdown then.
What's wrong with Astana?
Well, no, but what are they going to do? And
what can you do?
So they want to get to the States. So at least if they're locked down there, they're locked down in somewhere funky.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Indian Wells, fantastic tournament. We've got the Davis Cup. In fact, significantly, Steve, the Davis Cup is actually the end of this week, and no one cares.
I don't care. I don't care what's going on.
And I love the Davis Cup, but no one cares. And no one cares because the relevance and the importance of it has been battered by a certain Shakira-loving Spanish dude.
Well done for not swearing.
I was going to.
Yeah, I know you were. But yeah, it's just lost its...
Yep.
Meh.
ATP Cup was well better.
What I don't understand, ATP Cup was better. What I don't understand is that, so there's 4 teams in already. Canada, Great Britain, Russia, and someone else. Doesn't matter. But then the wild...
Spain, no big shit.
Oh yeah, Spain, of course, yeah. The wild cards are France and Serbia. How is Serbia a wild card? Got to the semi... I thought... No?
Well,
where did they get to?
They have to be. I mean, my question mark would be, why would France be a wild card? Because I suppose they won it a couple of years back, but then saying that, I'm getting a phone call from Suzanne. I need to possibly answer that later.
It's just all this change with the Davis Cup. Because I don't like the end week, I'm not bothered about the build-up to it. These top pros aren't playing now until the end of the year. They don't care. Therefore, no one else really gives A toss, basically. What do you think about it? Did you even know it was going on? I can guarantee 90% of people watching this didn't even know it was going on this weekend.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't.
No, I had to check who was playing against what and were.
So frustrating that they've decimated something so wonderful. But hey, there we go. That seems to be the way things are going.
Well, money talks, unfortunately.
Well, money talks, but then
not for long.
How long could what's his name?
Gerard Piqué.
Piqué. How long can Piqué run that event if it's going to have nobody watching and he can't rely on sponsors constantly. And this is the thing. Look, I'm going to say it. Let's get my rant going now. Okay, set up an event which involves the women and the men, so everybody can get their teeth into it. We had an amazing Hotman Cup in Australia, in Perth. It was always packed. It was great fun, and it was something that the players loved doing. Federer won it with Hingis one year. I'll never forget that one. The Brits have won it. Andy Murray won it with Laura Robson, or did he win it with Heather? One of the two. Right? And it's a fantastic tournament. Get the top 2 women, the top 2 men, and then have them playing a singles, a men's doubles, and a mixed doubles. Boom.
I do think
5 rubbers.
It would be good if they can combine the schedules a lot more. The players love it. People enjoy it. There's a better atmosphere. I mean, I think it can only be good for tennis.
There's something really fishy about the lack of cohesion between the WTA and the ATP.
And the ITF.
And the
all of them.
Don't even get me started about
all
that.
of them. It's just like you think they would be working together, but
yeah, it seems weird. All. I mean, we haven't even touched on Sharapova, or did we mention her in the previous one? Sharapova's retired. I honestly don't give a flying again because I don't like her. I don't like what she represents. And somebody came back at me on the radio and said, well, you've got to remember how much money she's brought to the sport. For what? For what? Again, we're going to go back to equality. You want equality? But how is it equal that somebody who wasn't even playing was actually still in the top 100 highest paid women athletes of the year that she was banned? So in other words, she's won it because she's got a pretty face, which, by the way, I don't find.
I think she's brought eyes to the game, but let's be honest, not the best eyes. Yeah. She's a cheat at the end of the day. She got caught cheating. She served her time. Okay, fair enough. But I'm not that. Yeah. If you notice, I don't really think anybody cares that she's gone.
Have Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic brought sponsors that they and Serena have brought the most. Unquestionably, you cannot question. I mean, maybe Sharapova is in there, but the difference is the other 4 have not been found to be drugs cheats and have not been found to be...
Not yet, anyway.
Well, have not been caught... have not been caught being drug cheats and not been dodgy. And actually, I mean, she won, was it 6 Grand Slams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justine Henin won similar amount, and we love her.
She's a legend.
She's a legend.
She's a legend.
You don't want to base the success of a lady based on her looks. Okay, yes, she won Wimbledon once or twice.
Twice.
She won at 17, great.
Well, yeah, I know. We're still talking like she's a big star. That was 15 years ago.
I know.
16 years ago, 2004.
That's you. She's just But like I said, again, why aren't we getting people who are bringing sponsorship money in through the quality of their tennis? It's so frustrating. But anyway,
that's all we've said. We've said this before. That lies at the WTA's door. They don't do enough to promote their plays. They don't do enough fun things. It's just, when I saw, obviously, the men's week this week, I saw them doing challenges in, like, the fan zone and hitting balls against people's faces. I didn't see that in the women's week.
Well, off the record, Steve, there was an activation which involved the mascot.
Activation?
They call them activations.
Oh, wow.
Where they had Ace and Annette, the mascots, and they pretended that Tsitsipas was Ace.
Okay.
Apparently, they went through the whole of the women's roster, and all of them refused to be involved in anything like that. Am I allowed to say that?
Apparently, you said apparently, so that's okay.
Oh, sorry, allegedly.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's the thing, it's they asked Halep. I mean, there's certain players, I could understand why they wouldn't want to do it, etc., etc. But come on, get a grip, have some fun.
But even if you're out, do it then. Do something. Svitolina lost in the first round in 12 seconds. You're here playing training with Monfils. Go and do some media work. Go and do something. Go and sit on the radio. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we all know why she lost, obviously, but
then maybe because Ace and Annette are supposed to be together, maybe they asked those two.
They should have done,
and they were told absolutely no way.
Oh really? Oh, there you go.
It was supposed
don't tell
to be.
them. Make them do it.
Well, this is the thing. It's like okay, if you want to get more fans, if you want to get more support, good.
Surely, like Svitolina represents and plays for the WTA. So WTA you're going to pay her millions and millions and millions a year. Do something.
I mean, that's how. Just saying for those who don't know, that's how some of them can command some form of appearance fee. So what they do is they basically have appearance fees that only the top dogs can get it. Now, with that, I didn't mean dogs as in there, but top players, etc., etc. But Djokovic, Murray's, Federer's, Nadal's, Williams's, Sharapova's, Halep's, they can do these. They are then contracted to do like an activation day. So if you remember, you obviously have the one up on Burj Al Arab with Agassi and Federer. You've had the one where they're playing.
Now it's a walk along the beach in front of the Burj Al Arab. That's exciting. That's memorable.
Well, yeah. So Clijsters and Thingamajig, Kenin.
Nobody will know that even happened. Nobody would even know that.
It was pathetic. Or you had Muguruza going shopping in Dubai duty free. Again, it doesn't. You want to have something which shows a bit of fun, and I'm certain. I am certain. Okay, and I'm going to get into trouble.
He's going. I know.
I'm going to get into trouble. Right, Tsitsipas is crazy. Okay,
his team is crazy. I don't think he's crazy.
His mum was Russian.
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, so his mum's Russian.
What does that mean? What does that?
No. But like, she went into a press conference and butted into a press conference during DDF. We'll talk about it. But Tsitsipas is crazy, right? Now we talk about like fans and bums on seats, etc., etc. Okay, if people saw the way Tsitsipas was, okay, away from the spotlight, he is so intense. Like, you won't even get him to, he wouldn't even look at you. He's just...
Did you see that thing about he said about his parents? Are they too involved on and off the court?
That's why she went into the press conference, because she... shut up.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry.
So you've got that. Now, he is the exact opposite of what he portrays, because he always comes on and is like, and he puts the ace hat, the hat on and pretends. He's the exact opposite of that. He's so intense, so intense.
Well, about a year ago, he put a thing on Instagram that he's no longer running his social media. A team does that for him. He does not post anything from himself. That is all a media team. Blah blah blah.
So there you go. So. If he understands that obviously if he acted the way that he actually is, he would get less fans. So he basically has a PR unit behind him to make sure that he does things that get people to like him, and he's popular. He's extremely popular. Maybe Kyrgios does that as well, but at the end of the day, the ladies, you need to do this because all I see is robot. Getting back to it, there should be something that the WTA needs to approach or have a meeting with the ladies and turn around to them and say, guys or girls, you need to show a little bit more charisma. Yeah. Now the argument would be it's their job. So it's their job. Okay? And as I've said in the last one, you don't have to be the best at your job, whatever. But Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal, as the three greatest of all times, no question. You can't tell me that their PR isn't exceptional.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And this is the thing. I mean, we saw Garbiñe Muguruza go shopping.
And Halep, I think, as well, went shopping.
Great.
Yeah.
So why? So we have Kim Clijsters and Kenin walking along the beach.
And Kenin is talking about how she watched Clijsters when she was younger at the tournament.
I mean, come on. I did a video shoot with Federer and Murray on the beach playing beach tennis. Wrong, by the way, because they kept on trying to let the ball bounce. Right? But even then, it was like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of fake, etc. But it just shows them in a little bit more light-hearted way.
Well, you're going to have a joke when you're playing something like that, aren't you?
And the banter between the two of them was great fun at the time. I was
Well,
enjoying
but that might lead into a different story between the tours themselves. It's definitely a bit more, more banter on the men's tour than the ladies, that's for sure. They're quite ruthless with each other.
There was a question asked of a very good friend of mine and colleague, Chris. Chris and Robbie asked Novak if they have a GOATS WhatsApp group. And he asked Nadal, and Nadal was a bit cagey about answering it. But Djokovic said yes, that there is, that they have a private WhatsApp group between Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, which they don't use very often, but they do use it. Question: do you reckon many of the ladies have a WhatsApp group between them? Because I'm almost certain they wouldn't.
Oh God, no.
There will be certain
friends,
groups,
but no way.
but there wouldn't be ones that were kind of more business associated, shall we say?
Yeah.
You know, Jules has told us that there's lots of WhatsApp groups. They've got a kind of a doubles WhatsApp groups. They've got, I think it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
You just want to be added, don't you? You'd love that. You would love that.
Be like,
although some of the things you send, maybe not.
I don't send anything, but
tennis memes.
Yeah, that's what I send. Right. So anything else that we need to add?
I think we've covered quite a few topics there.
We have, as usual. I'm just trying to think. More locally,
there was a question about Bublik's quote that he hates tennis and only plays for the money. I should just point out, again, this is the way the media work, taken completely out of context. He actually just won a match, and he was joking around. It was in an interview I saw, so the way he said it was, I hate tennis, I'm only in it for the money. Boom, quoted, stuck online with a picture of Bublik. So when you read that, you think, oh, okay.
Well, and during the
it's just what the media do. Try not to believe anything you read anywhere.
During the post-match interview with Djokovic after he'd won the final and he's saying about the unbeaten run, he joked and said, I want to go through the whole season unbeaten.
Oh, they clipped it?
They've clipped it. Yeah. He said, no, obviously that's not going to be realistic, but wouldn't it be great if I did? But he said it wasn't his goal. But then it came on all the different social media things. Djokovic's goal is to go through unbeaten. I think everybody's goal is to go through unbeaten, you morons.
Yeah, that's the aim, isn't it?
I want to go. I want to lose 4 matches this year. So there's that. No, but more locally, I've touched on the fact that people aren't playing enough, and they're still playing with coaches and stuff. People are starting to play, and people are starting to enjoy it. And I'm going to keep pushing this Friday. And I apologise because I'm going to embarrass you, even though just don't know Sindana. Just remember that no one watches this anyway. So, but you went out on Friday morning at 7 o'clock. For those who don't know, here in the Middle East, Friday is like Sunday morning. Okay, so Friday morning, 7 o'clock with Sham. They went and played 6-4, 6-2 to Sham. They've organised the same for next week, and they're bringing 2 other people so they can play a doubles and a singles.
That's how it starts.
That's what tennis is all about.
What? Playing tennis?
Playing tennis?
No, it's not. Tennis is not about playing tennis. It's about having structured lessons every time you're on the court, following strict rule sets, and then you leave. And then come back next week. And
I got such a thrill. I saw the guys on the Saturday. I was teaching them on the Saturday, as you know, and I just got such a thrill out of it because they were able to come back and say, we struggled with us. Most of the games we struggled with our serve and return. And I'm like, that's because you don't play enough. Because if you're not playing, then you're not using those shots. You're not going to play. They're the 2 most important shots. But when you're training, you don't do that. You don't get to do that as much.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well, we got a bit of. Bit of blood and gore there.
Good fellas on in the background.
We've just turned into an R-rated podcast.
Head up.
But yeah, so that was great. Hossein has played 2 matches.
Hisham has been in, yeah.
Hisham. We need to get people like Stelios and one. They're just go and play there. I hope they're enjoying it. If they're not enjoying it, then maybe it's something that you have to keep doing and learning from it, etc.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, matches are always, especially at the level we're playing at, unless you're at the real top, matches is just about having fun. It's a learning experience. And you come to your coaches and go, do you know what? I couldn't serve. I need to work on my serve. Great. That's all they are, is trying to practice what you've been doing in your lessons. And you might think you have the best forehand in the world, and you suddenly come back and think, I don't quite have the best forehand in the world. It's just a learning experience. Hopefully a fun one. Win or lose. I really don't even care who wins or loses. I know that sounds at our level, of course, because higher is different, but I just want people to play. Yeah, have fun, play the sport.
It's been such a thrill to see. I mean, I mentioned Sin again.
You saved him because, well, it was like the day before, I think you wanted to quit tennis and take up, I don't know, pickleball.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, it's very interesting that he said that because two of my clients played against each other and they actually said they didn't enjoy it that much. And they were like, oh no, we prefer the coaching. And I was like, I was actually really down, because I thought, well, I'm not achieving my job then. I'm failing in my job. They love playing tennis with me, but they don't love playing tennis. So I'm failing. As far as I'm concerned, that's me not achieving what I'm supposed to achieve. My job, as far as I'm concerned, is to try and get people to love the sport, not love an hour-long session with Paul. Yes, I can make it fun. Yes, I can have a laugh with them.
It's the easy part, isn't it?
Yeah, but I want them to enjoy it and love it and play with their friends, and when they're older, play in teams and stuff like that. And, I need to organise, by the way, and I'm going to do it. In fact, when we finish today and I start stringing, I'm going to organise a team competition within our academy, and I'm going to force the other 3 coaches to get teams.
They can be one team, the 3 of them.
Yeah, and we'll just get 5 teams each for with our fewer clients. Cool. Anything? Nothing.
I think we're done.
Nothing. You've got nothing to add.
My mind has gone clear.
Oh,
Said everything
when was it not clear?
Yeah, good point.
Right, okay. I've got tons of rackets that I've got to restring. Monday.
Any new exciting strings on them? Potential new rackets?
No, nothing. I mean, you obviously spoke about the experimental. Can you just give just 1 minute or 30 seconds about the experimental string?
Yeah, we got given some head experimental string to use. I loved it at the start. I thought actually the first few sessions I had with it were fantastic. Felt really nice. Did seem to lose a little bit of tension the further you went on. But you got to remember, I'm playing a lot in a day, so not quite maybe realistic. But if you're playing once or twice a week, playing some matches, it's going to be a good feel. I would definitely string it 1 or 2 pounds tighter, I think, if I was to do it again. Just because there was a little bit of a tension loss. But from straight away, it did feel really nice. I have to say, I was quite impressed.
I was actually quite impressed by it. I mean, from a string perspective, it was lovely to string with, which I very rarely say about smooth strings. It was lovely to string with. I noticed the tension loss very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare it to any other string because
I was trying to think of what it might be like.
But it was a really good string. I wouldn't choose that over others. I would say that. I mean, there are others out there that I feel are stronger.
It was a polyester, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's co-poly.
A co-poly. Well, it's definitely a soft co-poly. So if you've got elbow issues,
you find it soft?
Yeah, I did actually.
Find it that soft?
No, I thought it was quite soft.
Okay, so compare it to Cyclone then, for softness. So the bright yellow, not the red Cyclone, the bright yellow one. Because the bright yellow, the Cyclone, normal Cyclone.
I would say they're very similar in softness.
Okay,
maybe even more softer, the experimental.
I mean,
funny enough.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was, because Cyclone, I think, has an energy return of around 191, which is still quite high. Well, anything over 200 is a nightmare. But because they haven't done
holds for so long now, that just holds attention so nice.
Still yet to have anybody complain about Cyclone.
No, you will never have anyone complain about it.
It's a beast.
It's bright yellow, so what more do you want?
I'm going to get the other colours of it next time. So
blue?
There isn't a blue.
Come on, people.
He's so bad with his blue.
Come on, people.
Cool. Right. Well, I'll just give a quick shout out then to Steffi, who's just returning from Austria. She played in a grade 3.
I don't know actually.
I think it was a J3. So well done, Steffi, for doing that. I've already mentioned in the previous podcast that you did really well in that.
And for anybody playing tournaments, anybody competing, always a good thing. Well done.
Yeah, we love it. We're always supportive, and anybody from the UAE, if you want to add something, if you want to, us to give a shout out to you, then we're more than happy. Ria getting into Missouri State University.
Fantastic. She's off in the summer. Not long to. Well, hopefully.
Luca literally will be crying himself to sleep every night.
I think he's done. I think he'll just go over. I think he's going to register for school again. Start studying.
Go back, yeah, start studying. Cool. Okay, right. Well, thanks, guys, for watching. All 3 of you, maybe 2.
I reckon it'll be up to 5.
I genuinely think we're going to get around about 30 views or more.
I think I'm quietly confident about that.
I want to get to
What I want to know, sorry, and sort of, if I watch it and then watch it again, is that another view, or does it know that it is? Okay, so most of them
because I just keep watching it. Then
most of them are us. Then.
Damn. Okay, so the 23 views, that 19 of them are mine.
Well, we're over 100. I reckon I've watched it 10 times, definitely.
That can't be right, surely.
Is it? I don't know how it works. I'm not sure of the. Yeah, I don't know. Tell us. I might be right. Might be wrong.
Okay. And how long do you have to watch it for before you?
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
We should start coming up with some clickbait things.
Well, she upgraded everything on the thing. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like looking pretty shit.
Federer the arsehole. That could be the title. Yeah? Bye!